Welcome to Midnight Grove, where the quiet of the night meets the magic of stories. Tonight we invite you to journey to the Whispering Lake, a place of serene beauty and gentle whispers that calm the soul. Let this tranquil tale carry you away, easing your mind and preparing you for a peaceful night's rest. Find a comfortable spot, close your eyes, and let the soothing rhythm of the story guide you towards sleep. The Whispering Lake. In the heart of a vast rolling meadow, bordered by ancient quiet woods, lay a hidden treasure known as Whispering Lake. It was said that the lake held a gentle magic, one that could calm even the busiest mind. The water was crystal clear, reflecting the endless sky and surrounding hills. On quiet nights when the wind barely stirred, you could hear the lake's soft whispers, gentle words carried on the breeze, like a lullaby for the earth. Few knew of Whispering Lake, but those who visited often left feeling as though they'd discovered something sacred. One such visitor was an old storyteller named Riven. Riven had traveled far and wide, collecting tales from bustling cities to the quietest villages. But as he grew older, he found himself drawn to the serene and the still. Whispering Lake called to him. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, Riven packed a small satchel with essentials, a flask of tea, a notebook, and a blanket. He picked up his lantern, its glass panels softly smudged with use, and stepped out into the twilight. The meadow path stretched before him, glowing faintly in the last light of day. The air was cool and fragrant, carrying the sweet aroma of wildflowers and fresh grass. The distant hum of crickets began to rise, a gentle serenade to usher in the night. Riven walked slowly, savoring the peace of the moment. He passed clusters of fireflies dancing among the tall grasses, their tiny lights flickering like stars brought down to earth. The sky above deepened from gold to a soft indigo, and the first stars began to blink awake. As he approached the lake, the world grew quieter, as if holding its breath in reverence. The water stretched out like a sheet of glass, perfectly mirroring the sky above. A crescent moon hung low, casting its pale light over the landscape. Riven paused, letting the stillness settle over him before continuing to the water's edge. He set down his lantern on a flat stone and knelt to touch the water. It was cool, its surface rippling gently beneath his fingertips. The whispers began, soft and almost imperceptible at first, like the faint rustling of leaves or the distant murmur of a brook. But as Riven listened, they grew clearer, weaving a soothing melody that seemed to rise from the depths of the lake itself. He smiled and sat back, letting the whispers wash over him. They carried no words, only feelings, comfort, peace, and the quiet assurance that everything was as it should be. After a time, Riven spread his blanket on the soft grass and lay down, gazing up at the sky. The stars were scattered in brilliant constellations, their light reflected in the still waters of the lake. He let his thoughts drift, carried away by the whispers and the gentle rhythm of the night. As he lay there, the distant sound of hooves reached his ears. Sitting up, he saw a small herd of deer emerging from the woods. They moved gracefully, their sleek forms blending seamlessly with the twilight. The leader, a doe with a silver sheen to her coat, stepped carefully to the water's edge. The others followed, their movements quiet and deliberate. Riven watched in awe as the deer drank from the lake, their reflections shimmering in the water. For a moment, it felt as though he were part of a painting, a timeless scene of harmony between nature and the quiet magic of the lake. The deer eventually retreated into the forest, leaving Riven alone once more. He stood and stretched, then decided to explore further along the shoreline. The path curved gently around the lake, bordered by tall reeds that swayed softly in the breeze. Here and there, clusters of wildflowers bloomed, delicate bluebells, pale moonflowers, and vibrant lilies. As he walked, he came across a small grove of willow trees. Their long, graceful branches dipped toward the water, their leaves creating a curtain of green. Riven stepped beneath the canopy, feeling the cool shade envelop him. The ground beneath the trees was soft, covered in a thick carpet of moss. In the center of the grove, he found an old wooden bench, weathered by time but still sturdy. He sat down, listening to the whispers as they mingled with the gentle rustling of the willow leaves. The grove felt like a sanctuary within a sanctuary, a place where even the whispers seemed softer, more intimate. Riven reached into his satchel and pulled out his flask of tea. He sipped slowly, the warmth spreading through him as he watched the lake. The stars above were brighter now, their light dancing on the water's surface. He thought of the many stories he'd heard in his travels, but none seemed as profound as the quiet tale told by Whispering Lake. As he sat in peaceful reflection, a soft rustling caught his attention. From the edge of the grove, a fox emerged. Its fur was a rich russet, its eyes sharp and bright. The fox paused, its gaze meeting Riven's. For a moment, they simply regarded one another, the only sounds the whispers of the lake and the gentle rustle of leaves. Then, as if deciding Riven was no threat, the fox padded closer. It stopped a few feet away, its bushy tail curling around its paws. Riven chuckled softly. "You've come to hear the whispers too, haven't you?" he said. The fox tilted its head as if considering his words before settling down. Together they sat in companionable silence, both drawn to the serene magic of the lake. Time passed gently, marked only by the shifting positions of the stars. The fox eventually stood, stretched, and gave Riven one last lingering look before disappearing back into the forest. Riven watched it go, feeling a quiet gratitude for the brief connection. He stayed in the grove a while longer, letting the whispers weave their soothing melody around him. Eventually, the first pale light of dawn began to touch the sky, casting soft hues of pink and gold over the lake. Riven rose, gathering his belongings, and made his way back along the shoreline. The meadow was waking up, the sounds of morning birds blending with the fading whispers of the lake. As he reached the edge of the path, he turned for one last look. The lake was as serene as ever, its surface catching the light of the rising sun. Riven smiled, knowing the peace of Whispering Lake would stay with him, a quiet song to carry in his heart. With that, he turned and began the journey home, the soft warmth of dawn guiding his steps. Thank you for joining us on this peaceful journey to the Whispering Lake, here at Midnight Grove. We hope the calm whispers of the lake and the gentle scenes of nature have brought you closer to restful sleep. Remember, whenever you seek tranquility, the magic of Midnight Grove is always here, ready to guide you into the night's embrace. Sleep well, and may your dreams be as serene as starlit waters.